He's doing collaborations with people. I suggested my art. I sent him a digital pencil of it. Yeah, that's a really cool thing for a professional artist to do. Back in the day, when you first started being able to connect with some of these artists, professional artists on Twitter. Oh, not before. I mean, way before Twitter. I mean, on the internet. Like the first one I did was my favorite comic book artist of all time, John Byrne. And you get a lot of bad John Byrne stories, but I think most of them are overrated. But one thing that he did do that he had a hard time with, and I can understand it. Like if you're that talented, you see these like amateur people doing stuff, you know, and you can do it so much better. It gets a little annoying, but it's really not the right attitude to have. But like if you go to his forum to this day, it says no like fan colors of my original artwork, and I'm pretty sure that's because of me. Back when I used to spend so much time there, I would buy a John Byrne original art, and then I had like Photoshop 2 or something, and I would try to color it just for fun. I didn't think I was a colorist or anything, just goofing off, having fun. And it would clearly bug him. He was never a jerk about it. It was clearly like, God, that's horrible. That's what he would think. It's glad to see that you see a lot of artists today like Gary Shipman and Doug TenNapel and them getting over that. Genuinely talented people, but yet encouraging people. Even John Byrne, I don't go to the forum much anymore, but I do see like where he's teaching some of the artists there, different inking techniques. So he's definitely quit doing that too. Probably don't bother him as bad as it used to. Uh, but since we're talking about John Byrne and bad John Byrne story, I've got a lot of good John Byrne stories. Back in the old days of the internet, when I first got internet, you start looking up things you're interested in. So I was a big John Byrne fan. So I looked up John Byrne. There was an old AOL message board about John Byrne, where John Byrne fans there, and I found it. And very soon after I found that message board, just like as a coincidence, John Byrne started showing up and interacting with his fans there. Anyway, that led, I don't remember the full timeline, but that ended up leading to him creating his own website over at byrnerobotics.com and controlling his own message board. He had a lot of trolls and stuff. And over time, there was a couple times he was just unsolicited very nice to me. Like one point, I don't remember how it come up, but I did not have his run on OMAC. And I just mentioned that just in passing, not trying to fish or get anything from him. And he just volunteered. He's like, I will send these to you. And I was like, no, I'll be happy to pay you, blah, blah. And he's like, no, just take them. Just take them. He sent me his complete run on OMAC for free for no reason whatsoever. I was nobody special. If anything, I was annoying to him because, he has very different religion and politics views than me. And I was young and I wasn't afraid to share what my thought. But he was always very respectful of other opinions back then. And he sent me the whole run of OMAC, the One Man Army Corps. And then later, a similar story. I had quit reading comic books at the time. I guess he did Jack Kirby's Fourth World for a period, for whatever reason. And I mentioned I had never read them. He sent me the entire run of John Byrne, Jack Kirby, and I don't remember how many comic books that was, but it was a lot. It was maybe 40. No charge. I didn't ask for him. He didn't have to do it. He just sent them to me. And I always remembered that. I always thought that was extremely nice. Not because I got free stuff, but just because he was nice to a fan. And he had nothing to profit, nothing to gain from it. And so that's why I always get a little annoyed at these bad John Byrne stories. He's a smart guy. I think he gets a little annoyed sometimes at people that are fools. Not just people that disagree with him, but just people that are just jerks. And I think that's where most of the bad John Byrne stories come. He's not perfect. He's like any of us. But those are my good John Byrne stories.